welcome back to the channel, guys. And in this video we're doing a recap and review of Temptation Island Season 3 Episode 7, Message in a Box. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications. If you like the video, smash that like button, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below, because I like to engage with my viewers and subscribers. So without further ado, let's jump into this video. So before all of the drama started last night, we did start off by seeing the couples head back to their villas after meeting with Mark Wahlberg at the bonfire. Now, Thomas is still a mess over seeing his girlfriend Chelsea all over Blake in the pool. However, Julian, true to his word, sat by Thomas's side for comfort while he's going through all of this, and we see him sulking and crying and all of that. Even though we saw him rubbing mask cream all over Nicole, the girls, of course, was wondering, what the heck happened. But he did, drop in his confessional how he felt helpless and couldn't believe Chelsea would cheat on him. So then we got to see Alexis still holding out that Kendall would leave Erica for her, and hinted to Kendall as such. However, Kendall gave a lukewarm response, and he said he was content with how he felt and that Alexis should just trust him. Yeah. Well, he's definitely content, all right. However, Alexis' optimism, definitely took a turn later in the episode. So she might get to truly see exactly what Kendall wants from her or not, whether it's a committed relationship or not. So back over at the girls' villa, we see Erin. She realized, how so much she treated Corey, which was the same way she treated, or how she was treated in her past toxic relationships. And, she concluded that Corey was going to realize that he could be treated better than what she's given him. And she would also realize that, the grass wasn't always greener. Erin also dished out to the guys, and including Shaquille, who was listening to all of this, how she pushed Corey away because she loved him. And of course, Shaquille is hoping that Corey would just screw up just one good time so he could finally have a chance with Erin. Well, Shaquille, your days are definitely limited. So now let's check out Chelsea, and she's over there lamenting to Blake about Thomas rubbing lotion all over Sophia's butt. She decided that her love wasn't enough for him, and he was going to continue his playboy behavior. And with her, that's not okay. But what Thomas did was not as nearly as bad as what Chelsea was doing, which she was grinding all up on Blake in the pool. And of course, Blake claimed that this was a great moment for them to go deeper and deeper, which really meant he now knows that it's his time to make his move and to strike. So, honestly, if they have a better connection, which, to me, they sound like a bunch of hypocrites. They both mad at each other, and they're both with other people. So let's go back over at the guys' villa, where we have this whole thing again where he's confiding with Nicole about everything and how he feels, and he's so upset about what he's seen with Chelsea. And Nicole is like, he don't deserve this, and I'm just going to let him know that I'm going to be here for him. And, pretty much trying to say, I'm going to make it better for him, leave the girlfriend, okay? We all know what all of that meant. So now, look like Julian had just finished praising how mature and awesome Maya was. However, Maya went a whole way left when Amanda and some of the girls decided that they didn't want to wait for her to finish cooking dinner, so they threw some chicken on the grill, and that set Maya off. She went on a rant about who could eat what and when, and Amanda and Maddie retaliated by joking that they wouldn't argue with a 32-year-old temper tantrum. However, all of that noise that they was making and what Julia saw in Maya's character, I mean, because honestly, I don't know if Maya should have took it that far. If those girls was like, they don't want to wait to eat and they cook the food themselves, let them have it. I mean, for them to go back and forth about, when, who, and where, and what they can eat and when is kind of crazy. And that sent red flags definitely to Julian about Maya's character. Hey, when you gotta eat, you gotta eat. I mean, for somebody to tell you when and where, yeah, I think that was kind of crazy. However, he did get to have a conversation with Maya about that. And, she was like, look, I was just standing up for myself. You're not going to tell me and talk crazy to me. And, he kind of got an understanding. And he said something about the fact that Maya don't feel appreciated. And she just needed to know that, she's appreciated by someone. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But you still don't get to tell somebody when and where to eat. Really? So the next day, we got to see the couple spending more time, and this is where we saw Kendall continue to seemingly leave Alexis on while still maintaining some emotional distance. He said that he would have a game time decision regarding his relationship once he saw Erica. And I mean, dude, you've done a lot. And of course, you know how the game is played with the show in the bonfire. They show the most salacious events that you participated in, and you had a lot of them. And this is also where, we see Erica having some conversations with Lex about, whether or not she might change her mind. And Lex, told her, don't fold. But the thing is that, the decision is going to be hers at the end of the day. I mean, you could tell somebody not to be with someone and not to, go back or whatever. But, as much as you tell somebody and you can tell them till you're blue in the face, they're going to, at the end of the day, do what they want to do. So it remains to be seen what she's going to do. So now the miserable Thomas and Sophia is now chilling on the beach. And he thanked her for taking him out of his funk about Chelsea. Sophia confessed to Thomas that he was the exact man she ever wanted. Okay, we'll see. Because, I mean, if he's all hung up and blue about what he saw, she needs to think twice about that. And honestly, if she definitely have a lot of optimism, because one of the things she said is she can see herself, moving forward outside of this with him. On the flip side, Chelsea believed that she and Blake were meant to be and told him that, they brought value to each other's lives, and Blake told her that she already brought value to his. Okay, but he was originally Blake the fake, right? But he made his move. So the next day, Mark stopped by and he made an announcement that it's time to eliminate some singles. The guys went first and they decided to eliminate Grace and Maddie. And, Grace definitely gave a tearful goodbye, and thanked them for showing her that not all guys are a-holes, but okay. And then now it was the girls' turn. And they chose David, and oh my gosh, they got rid of Shaquille. And that was shocking. However, David didn't throw a temper tantrum like the other guys in the original elimination did. He was very respectful. But when it came to Shaquille, you see Aaron giving this weird emotional cry, which, she told Shaquille she needed to focus on herself instead of others. And, the way Shaquille lost it when Aaron went on a date without him, you were wondering, was he's going to, do another, attack like he did. But, everything went well and he just said goodbye, to her. So later on, they had a toga party at the girls' villa. And, they were having a good time. The girls all dressed up, looking real cute, and the guys were carrying them in. I think they had a pretty good time. They needed to lighten up the mood after, a long day. But this is where the girls was like, especially Kristen, talking about taking chances, taking risks, and to Chelsea's first kiss. And then we all see how Aaron had a biggest fall trying to jump on the guy's back. So this is where we now see Chelsea again agonizing over her feelings while she sat with Blake. Yeah, but they ended up making out again after all of that. So, it is what it is. The guys at their villa had an ABC party where they barely wore anything but clothes. We had Corey looking like, somebody said, Justin Bieber wearing a crown and a potato sack for a shirt. And then Thomas decided to put a pointed party hat over his private area, which of course prompted Sophia to just kind of swoon over his little cone. And then we had, of course, Kendall, who couldn't wait to take that tape off. Alexis, Nicole, and Kendall, speaking of Kendall, all sat in the hot tub, and Nicole asked Alexis what their game plan was for the night, and Alexis looked confused, but then Kendall jumped in to clarify that it was about to go down for another threesome. Alexis snapped back, not to expect that, but Kendall didn't care and stated that he expected it all the time, and then turned around in his confessional and said that it was Nicole's idea, which was crazy. He still tried to manipulate Nicole to get Alexis on board for a threesome, but she didn't fall for it, and she pushed back on him to talk to Alexis. But Alexis stood her ground, and then, of course, they went straight up to bed. So now it's time for the 30-second video messages, and Aaron went first, and this is where she got to see Corey. And he said that at first he wasn't confident in coming to the island with her, but the experience has made him a better man. When Corey failed to mention that he loved her, this is where Aaron got to worry and that he was moving on without her. I mean, okay. Corey, however, it was his turn. And he essentially kind of saw the same message. Aaron said she realized she needed to work on herself and become a better person. She also didn't say I love you, but instead of feeling insecure, Corey was relieved that Aaron was working on herself, and that these two need to be open and need to communicate more with each other, which I can definitely most say that they can stay together. Let's talk about Miss Erica. Now, Erica hoped Kendall didn't send her a message, because not having to hear from him in her ear 24/7 has allowed her to focus on herself instead of trying to babysit him and his feelings all day. Unfortunately, Kendall did leave her a message, and he began, the no rules statement and fully embracing the experience. To cover, based on, for the actions that he did flip it back onto her, saying that he hoped that she would turn into the woman he knew she could be, and that they would leave together stronger, pushing her to get his approval. However, when it was his turn, he got nothing. No message, no nothing. And Kendall definitely showed some surprise, but he said, it would be still a game time decision for him at the end. It's Kristen's turn. Kristen watched Julian tell her that he wanted to be a better version of himself for her and their families. And he ended his message mentioning that he cannot wait to start his journey with her and that he loved her. And she was excited about that. These two, she held out. She wasn't, going to be tempted. So yeah, she was definitely happy about her message. And then it was Julian's turn to listen to Kristen's message, where she told him she loved him as well and was going to continue to work on herself to be a better person for him. So I pretty much, can see at the final bonfire that these two are definitely going to have an emotional, we're going to stay together. Finally, we got Chelsea and Thomas. Chelsea wanted to get clarity from Thomas if he was spending his time learning why he had a flirtatious personality. What she got was a message pretty much where he was being desperate. Thomas said that he missed Chelsea, he loved Chelsea. Even though he was flirty, he proved that he was committed. And Chelsea looked like she was kind of shocked, taken back by that. She thought the video was fake because it didn't correlate with his behavior that she saw with him and Sophia. And then now it's Thomas' turn looking at Chelsea's message. And in that, he hoped that it would be similar to his, that she loved him and wanted to be with him, but he didn't get that at all. Chelsea blamed Thomas for putting their relationship on the line, and she said she has no plan on going backwards, only forwards. And it came off to him as being non-emotional, unfeeling. Thomas freaked out, felt Chelsea was trying to break some bad news to him. And he added, it seemed like she was defending her actions without telling him where they were at yet. And, of course, we're going to definitely see at the bonfire what Chelsea did with Blake. And that's going to really send him over the top. So I don't see a future for them. And let me know what you think about the episode. Were you surprised that Kendall didn't receive a message from Erica? Do you think Thomas was sincere with his message with Chelsea? Do you think that Blake really likes Chelsea, or is he being fake? And are you surprised Alexis turned down Kendall for another threesome? So I hope you enjoyed this video, but before we go, let's do our post notification shout out. If you want to be shouted out, drop a comment down below. I will see you and shout you out. The first one goes to Sonia K. Thank you so much for engaging the channel. I really appreciate your comment. Next goes to Tara Davis Reed. Thank you as well for your comment. I appreciate you as well. And then last but not least goes to Jet Mech, and a Mech. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but thank you as well for your comments. I really appreciate it. So until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon.